Yeah, my name's Kevin. I'm one of the wildlife rangers here on Grouse. So we're going to spend 10 or 15 minutes just talking about owls, learning a bit about owls, and I'll introduce you to these two specifically. At the end of that time, I'll keep one of them on the glove in case anybody wants to come up for like a selfie. But of course, you know, we're still mindful of the social distancing and all that, so nice to see you all spaced out, that's good. And if you do find yourself a bit closer to another group, then just pop the old mask back on for safety. And at the end, you know, don't all rush down in the middle for photos. I'll walk along and we'll keep everybody nicely spaced out and safe. That's our main concern here. So, welcome. So you'll know a lot about owls already. You know probably there's over 220 different species of owl on the planet. Lots and lots of different owls. Not quite so many in Canada and in BC, maybe about a dozen, 15, something like that. And our owls are native to Canada. This is Cleo. Anybody know what kind of owl this is? Barn owl, yeah. I think I heard somebody say a barn owl. B-A-R-N, very good. Oh, my hearing's not so bad if you're way over there. She's a barn owl, okay? She's from the island. Now, barn owls are very common globally. You find them on every continent except Antarctica, for pretty obvious reasons. And here in Canada, BC, they're not doing great, actually. But they're not in danger or anything like that. She was born on the island, a place called the Raptor Conservancy. And she came to us when she was about 2 or 3 years old. And she was already sort of trained, born in captivity, trained to be on the glove. So she's a real dab hand at this. And she's been our kind of main wildlife ambassador for many years since we got her. She's 11 now. In the wild, they probably live 3 or 4 years. Lots of things like to eat them, including that type of owl over there. We'll meet in a minute. So we keep them separate. So she's doing great. 11 years, wow. She's a real pensioner, this one. Anyway, owls. So they're part of the sort of bird of prey family, the raptor family. They are carnivores. They're not interested in salads or fruits. You can keep all of that. They just want the good stuff. And you don't find them on a mountain usually. They like lower elevations, farmland, edge of forests and streams, that sort of thing. And the colouring also there is well suited to that environment, that normal environment there. Anyway, like I say, owls generally then, one of the first things we notice about owls is that disc-shaped face, either round or oval, or with the barn owl, very attractive, like a heart-shaped disc on that face right there. And believe it or not, that serves like as one of these. We have 2 of these. Owls don't, they have 1. It's planted on the front of their face like that. And but its function is the same. So this is designed to catch sound and push it into our ears. And that is designed to catch, there's all little tiny feathers. This is not hard, it's all soft little feathers. And it traps sound and feeds it through to their ears. Now, if you get your 2 index fingers, like that and that, and point at your ears, let's see where your ears are. Yeah, so pretty level. Now if you drop one finger 1/2 inch and bring the other one up 1/2 inch, that's where owls' ears are typically. So asymmetrical. And one points up and forward, the other one points down and back. And this gives them a fantastic range of hearing. So an owl sitting in a tree can hear the heartbeat of a mouse on the ground. Pretty incredible stuff. This is why you don't see the owl wearing the sunglasses, because you know it kind of doesn't really work, you know. But anyway, very good sense of hearing. Another thing that stands out with owls is big eyes, don't they? Have really big eyes. You might not think that actually looking at her, because you see this big head and eyes. Yeah, they look normal. But actually, most of this is feathers. Most of this whole thing is feathers. There's very little in the way of a skeleton. The bones are hollow. And the skull is maybe this big. The rest of it's all feathers. So when you think the skull is that big, those eyes do take up a lot of room in the socket. And she has dark eyes. What do we tell from this? She's nocturnal. nocturnal species, and yeah, primarily because they're so vulnerable, as we said in the day, lots of things like to eat them. So, but the light doesn't hurt their eyes, don't be concerned about that. It's just that with big eyes that let in a lot of light, they can see very well at night. Thank you very much. Now, let's see if you can do this. So now don't move your head. Not everybody gets this, it's quite difficult. Don't move your head, don't move your neck, but glance left and right, up, down, and then look at your nose. There you go, very good. They look good, don't they? Anyway, Cleo didn't join in. Her eyes don't move. Owl's eyes, they're attached to rods, go back into the skull, so they don't move their eyes. What do they do instead? They turn their heads all the way. No, because it will fall off. So, you know, 270 degrees, about 3/4 of the... Have a go. Who can turn their head 3/4 of the way around? Let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't bother either. You can't, right? You've got 7 vertebrae in your neck. Owls have 14. So, they're cheating. But yeah, it's important, right? You can't move your eyes, you're going to move your neck, your head. That's pretty cool. Eyesight, do you think? As good as ours? Better than ours? Not as good. What do you think? Yeah, much better than ours. Sense of smell? They don't have sense of smell. No, they don't have. We'll come back to that later, remember that. Oh, here she goes. What do you think barn owls like to eat? Yes, they love mice. So a family of barn owls can put away 30 or 40 mice a night. Barn owls, of course, because they like to nest in the farm buildings, right? And that's because mice tend to live around those buildings too. So, yeah, that's where they get their name. The colouring, it's well suited to their natural habitat, gives them camouflage. So, you know, a predator from above looking down will see these kind of earthy colours on the back there. And the prey, her prey, looking up, it just looks white, so it gets lost in the, well, not many clouds, white clouds at night, but you know what I mean. Because of that white underneath, they're often referred to as the ghost owl. And this owl, so this species of owl, what sound do owls make typically? What noise do we associate with them? Okay, don't play then. But this one doesn't poop. This one screeches. It's horrible. So we're quite glad she's quiet. But you can imagine being out at night, walking along by the edge of the forest, and this white thing comes at you screaming out of the forest. So ghost owl. Lots of ghost stories made up around these little critters. Yeah, there we go. What do you think she weighs? Now, I should tell you, give you a clue. The biggest owl in the world is the fishing owl, Eastern Asia. And they come in at probably, I don't know, 9 or 10 kilos. They're big. And the Eurasian eagle owl is also very, very big. The smallest owl is the elf owl. And lots of people think this is from the North Pole. No, from Central Southern America, actually. And they're tiny. It's a waste of time, really. What do you think she weighs, this one? She's about 1.25 pounds, so we weigh them every day, and she's 660 grams, I think it was today. She has 3 meals a day, mice and chicks. They're pre-frozen, they're not live. And there you go. So we're going to put Cleo back, and we'll meet the other owl. Incidentally, excuse me, do you know what Cleo's favourite subject was at school? Algebra. Now, Cleo comes from a big family, and she's very good, but there's actually some quite bad owls in her family. Do you know where they send the bad owls? Alcatraz. Now the reason they're on the leash, 3 years old. Obviously a completely different species, and in fact, come on, there you go. Well, you wouldn't find a barn owl in the wild on top of a mountain, but you'll find lots of these in the wild, up here and the surrounding mountains and forests. Anybody know what kind of owl this is? Great horn, yeah. Great because of her size and her strength. This is the biggest owl in Canada in terms of weight and strength. The great grey owl is taller, but it's kind of skinny and weedy. This one is all solid, you know, very, very strong. Do you know what she weighs, this one?
1.5 kilos.
Good guess, actually. She is 1.8 kilos today. They can get up to that 2.2, 2.3. That's the females. Females in owl world, females are bigger. Females are in charge. See, reminds me of being at home. But anyway, there you go. But this is apex predator. She has no enemies. No enemies. Have you? Yeah, not even eagles would attack this. These are very, very strong. The average male human has a grip strength of around 100 pounds per square inch. Great horned owl, 500 pounds per square inch. So that's why we wear this glove. Otherwise, there'll be blood and screaming, and you know, it's not, people don't want to see this. So very, very strong, very strong. Because of her size, now you can see again, she's got that sort of a facial disc, but a different kind of shape to the barn owl there. This one, big yellow eyes. Now that tells us that this owl would be active during the day as well as nighttime. Big eyes there. Incidentally, you know, the skulls are quite small, as I said. The eyes take up a lot of room, so there's not much room left for the brain. So if you've ever heard the stories of the wise old owl, not really. They do all their learning when they're very young, and then they're full. You know, no more memory. But they know what they have to know for sure. Now, because of her size and her strength, she'll eat mice, definitely, and she does. But you know, in the wild, they have a much wider range of food available to them. Can you think what else they might eat?
Rabbits.
Yeah, sorry, kids. Rabbits. Yeah, well, she's been working hard today, and it's a little warm. So it's just kind of a painting almost, you know? She's very chatty, this one. She's from Ontario. She was born out there in captivity. We brought her out here. She was 8 weeks old, sorry. And then we raised her. And of course, being humans, little animals, we talk to them constantly. And now she just talks back to us all the time. She'll never grow up. She'll always be stuck in that kind of baby mode. So that call you hear is saying, hey mum, hey dad, you know, if you've got any food, I'm here, kind of thing, you know. But anyway, yeah, rabbits, squirrels, rats, you know, that sort of thing. Think of something that's a bit bigger than a rabbit. Something that's like black with a white stripe. Yeah, they're known for attacking skunk. Now, I know they got tiny brains, but come on, what's a skunk going to do when you attack it? It's going to spray you, you're going to stink, aren't you? Does she care? No, she has no sense of smell. She doesn't give a hoot. You know? It's true, she doesn't care. But when they eat their food, they eat everything. You know, the fur, the feathers, the bones, the teeth, what have you. And of course, the meat and the muscle and everything else they can digest. But that other material they can't digest. They save it and it's compacted into a pellet. And anybody got a cat here? You know, a hairball? That's the owls throw that pellet up each day. Maybe one, maybe two. Here's one, it's an old one, it's all dried out now. It's almost fossilized. They can be twice that size, or even half that size. But that's just full of things like bone and teeth. But yeah, if you go to school around these parts, you'll be dissecting these at some point. Seeing what the owl had to eat. And then we come down, that's the eyes, the eating, the ears. We didn't really cover the horns, did we? They're not horns, they're just feathers, so anyway. Stick them up, not much better. And then we come down to the feet. Look at these beautiful big feet here. Owls have 4 toes, 2 front, 2 back. One of them swivels as well. And they're all attached to one tendon, so when they catch their prey, all those talons come in together. And yeah, you really can't get away from that grip. And she's got, oh, she's off. Come on, there you go. These beautiful kind of furry, hairy toes she's got here. Very lovely, very lovely. Okay, well, you know, that's probably about, you know, oh, no, I did mean to say, what do you call an owl with a deep voice? A growl, right? I thought you'd have got this by now. Anyway, yeah, so that'll do us. I'm going to keep Athena out on the glove for a little while, in case anybody wants photos, or maybe you've got questions. Coming up at, I guess it will be, what, 4:30? The last ranger talk of the day over at the Bear Habitat. Go see Cooler and Grinder. And incidentally, next weekend, we're celebrating 20 years of Cooler and Grinder. It's not actually their birthday because they were born during winter, but we're going to celebrate their 20 years next weekend. If you're here, you can join in with the fun. Some special events going on, some birthday cake, of course, some photo opportunities. And yeah, come up and celebrate the birthdays with us there. That's next weekend, Saturday and Sunday. For today, like I said, you've got the Ranger Talk, you've got the Lumberjack Show coming up back again later. I think it's at 5:30 there for the last one, and or 5 o'clock maybe. And you've got the peak chair. You can go right to the top of the mountain, get some spectacular views, see the Eye of the Wind, and yeah, if you've got your wallet with you, you know, maybe some zip lines, some mountain rope adventure, something like that. Finally, a couple of things you can do to help owls. Firstly, believe it or not, there are still people that throw garbage out their car, out their window, out their doors, and any food scraps will attract rodents. And then, of course, where you get rodents, you get owls. They're going to eat, and you know, they get hit by vehicles. That's not good. And especially at home, if you have, you know, if you live around these parts, it's not uncommon to have little pest problems, little mice from time to time. And don't use poisons because that goes in the rodent. But then, of course, the owl eats the rodent, and there's the poison inside. But like I said, I'll keep on the glove for the next 5 or 10 minutes. So thanks for coming, and enjoy the rest of your visit.